Back at you with another one, and thank you for joining me. I know you're probably thinking, why has he got a Juventus top on when this is an Arsenal channel? And that's because that was my first team I supported. It was my first love. Juventus was actually the club that got me into football. So back in the days when you used to have on Channel 4, they would show all the Serie A highlights and stuff like that. And from a kid, I ended up loving Juventus. Until my waste man of a father told me that I needed to support an English club. And yes, he is a waste man. He supports Tottenham. And part of me does actually regret. And I wish I could go back to a little boy and not support Arsenal. For as much as I love Arsenal, the sort of heartbreak it gives you, just everything about it, it's just not worth it. Arsenal just reminds me of that girl that you know it's bad for you, but for whatever reason you're still stuck in that relationship, and it's just damaging you, day by day, and only when you get out of that relationship do you realise, damn, that was so toxic. Why was I in that? And I'm feeling very, very much that same situation. We have an owner who does not care. We have a board. They are either inept to the job roles or they don't care either. We have a manager doesn't know what he's doing. He's just literally destroying football. Absolutely destroying football. And you're probably thinking, why are you being reactionary? No, I'm not. Yesterday's game was such a ball. If you want to know who my man of the match for yesterday's player ratings is, it's myself, because I managed to stay up for 88 minutes of the game. Yeah, I did snooze off towards the end because it was so boring. And how many times could we have said that about games we've played so far this season? It's just one too many. And what pisses me off, they don't care about our club, whether that be Arteta, Edu, etc. And yes, some of you guys might be thinking, hey, Arteta loves us. No. This guy's an Everton legend. Do you really think he supports Arsenal Football Club? No. Why is he here? Because he's trying to get his managerial career started. Simple. Looking out for himself. Just like Edu's looking out for himself. The Kroenke looking out for themselves. Vinay and this new idiot they brought in from West Brom, who's in charge of contracts. I mean, but what pisses me off the most is our fan base don't care. Our fan base do not care. The amount of Arsenal fans are telling me, hey, relax. Crystal Palace managed to beat a lot of the teams. Hey, relax. Stop being reactionary. We got a draw. It's not about relaxing, mate. Wait, we are 11th, playing boring crap football, man. And you want me to relax? It's like I'm starting to feel like the majority of our fan base do not care about this club. They do not care. And then part of me feels like, why am I bothering, man? Why? Because if you guys don't care, then why am I putting so much effort and feeling for this shithole? Just so you guys here can fucking, every week put me down. Week after week, game after game. Just, slowly break my heart up into little pieces and just fucking burning it up. That's what I feel like Arteta and these and co are doing to me. It just pisses me off. And then when I'm getting fan bases who are on his side and telling me to relax, stop having an agenda. My only agenda is to see Arsenal Football Club being where it belongs, right at the top. I was watching something with Rant and Matisse, who are also YouTubers, and they are both United and Chelsea fans respectfully. And amongst their discussion, I did hear Matisse actually mention that we need to do something because we can't allow Frank Lampard to just continuously get away with it. He said, and this is exactly what he said, yeah? Emphasis on this next sentence, because otherwise we will end up content, yeah, with low standards, and we'll regress like the Arsenal fan base, because they have for many years accepted lower standards. He's not wrong, is he? He's not fucking wrong. So why don't we apply more pressure to the owners, apply more pressure to the board, apply more pressure to the manager? Why are we backing them? Why are we defending them? What affiliation do I have, with Kroenke? None. What affiliation do I have with Arteta? None. Let's be real. Who here thought Arteta was a great player? Who? All I remember when Arteta used to kick ball, the amount of people say, he's shit. As I always say, he's a poor man's version of Cesc Fabregas. It's simple to understand. And it's just like I feel like I'm a one-man army fighting for this club, trying to take it back to the top. I just feel like so many people are stopping me. I'm just a lot of pressure, a lot of like blockages en route to try and get this club back up. It just feels like it's so tiring. My own fan base, man. Like, do you not care? Do you not want to see us back at the top? Why are you allowing these owners? You're telling me trust the process. Who told you to trust the process? Where does the process come from? Yes, the owners that you do not like, the owners that you want out. The same process that's brought in Runnison through the door. The same process that for many years we have been trying to get rid of Henrik Mkhitaryan, who was in his 30s on 200k a week, just to replace him with another 30-year-old and give him a longer contract on a higher contract in Willian. This is the process we're working with, man. This is the process. The same process that didn't realise Emil Smith-Rowe was at the club until Willian could not play. Oh yeah, this is also the same process here that's got the worst attacking rate in the league. And it's just, this is the process you're telling me to entrust. The same process that moves his transfer target week by week. I mean, let's just look at the attacking mid options. How did we go from Husamoa and then 6 weeks later, Dominic Szoboszlai? He doesn't work. Let's look at Emi Buendia. Now it's Manor Solomon. Does anyone know what they're doing? Does anyone know what they're doing? Let me give you an example, yeah? When you're sort of talking about progress and you're talking about process. Whenever you go through process, there are checkpoints, yeah? And fail to hit a checkpoint, what do you think happens? Yeah, you're out the door. So let me just give you a bit of about my little experience here and a bit of my story here. So I lost my job back in July due to COVID, and I recently got a new job in November. So I'm still in my probation period, which lasts for 6 months. If I fail to make the mark, what do you think happens to me? They're not going to say, trust the process, we'll trust you here, we can see some talent, even though you're still there, you're not hitting the mark, we can see that you're going to be great, we don't know how, we've got no historical evidence to back that up, but we're going to trust this process. No, HR will have me in a fucking meeting, and it's adios, simple as that. Yeah, Arteta, let's just trust the process, guys. Let's trust it. But what historical evidence are we trusting it on? And why are we trusting this? You know what? If you really want to, guys, I'm going to go through a long article which I think is very, very important to address a lot of the fan base, and hopefully it should open their eyes. But before we do that, before I go on that tangent, I'm going to go back to yesterday's game. And I know it's boring, but we're going to have to go through the player ratings. I'm so sorry, but we're going to do that right now. So, as I mentioned, in terms of the match stats yesterday, we had a total 11 shots to their 12. We had 4 shots on target to 2 of theirs, and 68 possession to 32%. Although, looking at that, it looks like we were the better team on paper. But if I'm going to be honest with you, who had the better chances? And let's be real, Palace game plan was to hit us on a counter. And when you see guys like Eze and Zaha driving our defence, you could tell that game plan worked to a T. And had it not been for the bar or that amazing save by Bernd Leno, would be discussing another defeat added on to Arteta's large list of defeats. So in terms of lineup yesterday, there was a few surprises. No Kieran Tierney in the squad. and also no Pablo Mari. And there has been sort of reports that there's some sort of clause, appearance clause on Pablo Mari's contract, where if he was to play 10 games, then we owe Flamengo £1 million. And that's been reported by a few British journalists, and the story broke out there in Brazil. So do I believe it? Probably, because it sounds like some dodgy dealing Arsenal would do, because we are very, very cheap. So without wasting any more time, let's look at the player ratings. Bernd Leno, best player for me, so he's man of the match, other than myself, for enduring that horrid game. So Bernd Leno for me, he gets an 8, superb save, which I thought, wow, you know. And one decent thing that I have to admit about Bernd Leno is we're no longer speaking about Emi Martinez anymore because of how great he has been. But the danger is, what happens when he gets injured? I'm just saying. So as I said, Bernd Leno gets an 8. Ballerina. There was that one moment where Emil Smith-Rowe got the ball, you know, and he almost got to Xhaka. And then Ballerina intercepted it. Like, why? I thought for some good spells he had some really awful spell, and all their attacks, as per usual, was going down his side. Did he make any pivotal mistakes that's led to a goal? Well, evidently not, because it was 0-0. So based on that, he gets a 6. Rob Holding, new contract, still shit. No, he's maybe not shit, mediocre at best. I'm still so annoyed that we somehow believe this guy is better than William Saliba. I don't know what Arteta sees, to be honest. Rob Holding, he gets a 5. Gets a 5. David Luiz, slightly better than Holding, so I'm going to give him a 6. Decent distribution. Ainsley, very poor. But then again, it's like he rarely plays. He never gets any minutes, and then it's just like, hey Ainsley, do us a favour, come in. It's like, for example, when Bellerin got that suspension, yeah, just throw Ainsley in. Oh, Tierney, he's got a little niggle, yeah, throw Ainsley in. I sort of feel sorry for Ainsley, because he must be thinking, I should have taken that 25 million from Wolves and ran off. Why did I stay here? And I think that FA Cup win gassed a lot of players up, and they thought, wow, this is going to be a new turnaround. Yeah. And, you know, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of Arsenal fans as well are buying into this Arteta hype. Not only because of the FA Cup, I also think because of his looks. Arsenal fans seems to like, you know, good looking players, good looking managers. You know, that always buys you time. When you're like Unai Emery, you've not got the drip, you don't look the part. He's bad. Oh, Arteta, nice drip. Oh, look at his face, model. Oh, the hair, the action man hair. Same as Bellerin. And I think that's what's gassed up a lot of people. And also, that many people actually think Arteta he's the second coming of Pep, because he worked under Pep. So a few of us got this, you know, romantic sort of fairy tale of that here Arteta will be the next Pep, and we're going to win the Premier League, the Champions League, etc. here at the Emirates. And I'm sorry, guys, if you actually believe that, you need to fucking wake up and smell the coffee. And then moving on to the other midfielders, just to clarify, I did give Ainsley a 4. Xhaka, and I've heard some mixed reviews. Some people saying he played well, some people saying he played poor. But yes, he made a few good tackles, but some of those were due to his initial errors. And for me, I question people who are saying that he played amazing. Then it makes me wonder, do you actually watch football? Did you watch the sort of the free sort of actions before that tackle? Did you see him losing that ball initially and then running back and trying to get... If you didn't see that and you thought he had a great game, then I really, really urge you, maybe next time when you're watching football, watch the whole game. Watch every bit of action, and then maybe you will realise he's only making up for the mistakes he's done. So, for as great as he's done some bits, he was very poor, and he is leading up to his errors that he had to rectify. So based on that, he gets a 6. Ceballos, I thought he was more tenacious. Although he didn't make as many tackles as Xhaka, he didn't make as many mistakes. So I guess it's only fair that he gets a 6 as well. Smith Rowe, I thought he had an under par game, and that could either be that the opposition was greater and they sat with a low block, or it could be that he's just tiring out. After all, he is still a teenager. So Smith Rowe for me, he gets a 5. Aubameyang, he tried a bit more than usual, just a bit more, but still very poor. So Aubameyang for me, he gets a 4. Laka didn't have a single shot. We're going to give him a straight 3. Saka didn't have a great game either. He gets a 4. For the subs bench, great tea party come on. And you could sort of see in that little cameo he had what he could bring to the team, although it wasn't enough. So I'm just going to give him a 5. Nicolas Pepe, you could just sort of see Pepe just looks like a man, low on confidence. He just looks like a man who's been fed too much tactics that he just doesn't know what to do anymore. I think Arteta's overcomplicated things for a lot of players, and in particularly Nicolas Pepe, because when you're more of a street baller, you know, you like to just express yourself on the field, and then when you've got someone giving you 101 instructions of what to do, Pepe's probably sat there before each sort of game, or when he comes on he's like and confused, and that's probably why he doesn't play that great. Moving on to our final substitution, Eddie Nketiah gets more minutes as per usual. Florian Balogun, fuck off, you're shit, because my name is Mikel Arteta and I know talent. Eddie gets a 5. Didn't have enough time. That's my player ratings, and as you can tell, I just very little sort of emotions. I just don't care that much. For me, I'm starting, as I said, and I've said this for quite a while now, I'm starting to fall out of love with trying to support this team, and I feel like a lot of that is the fan base, because for me, what we did have before was a unified fan base and we all wanted the best, but now it just seems like there are massive portions of the fan base who are content with the status quo, and they aren't ambitious, and they want us to sort of continue with this process. But that moves us nicely onto our next segment. So if you're only here for the player ratings, you can tune out now. If you want to sort of see this article that I thought, you know, will be great, and I think it's a real eye opener for many Arsenal fans out there, then please stay tuned, and let's just start now. So this is a thread I saw the other day on Twitter, and I thought, you know what, beautiful. So you're probably thinking, who are these guys? Who's James Benge? Benge is a journalist, and I believe he does Football London and CBS. David Ornstein, former BBC, now at the Athletic. Connor Armstrong, he runs the Arsenal social pages, and he is going to be important in this thread because he's a massive Southampton fan. And you're probably thinking, what? Why are we hiring a Southampton fan to manage our socials? We'll get on to that. So let's start with a blunt truth here, yeah? The Arsenal of the Emirates is not an Arsenal about being successful. Whoa, relax. I didn't ask for that. Whoa. Sorry, guys. You've gone too massive now. What's going on here? Okay, apologies. So what was I saying now again? Lost my thoughts here. Make myself smaller so you can see things bigger and better. Alright, apologies. Let's start right from the top of game. So as I've got here, yeah, so the Arsenal of the Emirates is not an Arsenal about being successful. The Emirates Arsenal is a completely separate entity to the Arsenal of the Highbury. I'll be going over why everything we do at Arsenal, from the owner to the players to fans, isn't based on Arsenal being the best. First of all, every football club is a company, but brands like City and Liverpool thrive off the success that is at their club. Man City winning major trophy benefits their brand. Everybody associated with City only wants the best for City. At Arsenal, that's a different case. At Arsenal, the board are only interested in their jobs, but Arsenal doesn't need to be. Okay, now you're really taking a piss, mate. Here, okay. Let's just make it slightly bigger before I continue. Okay. Anyways, watch it just go massive right now as I continue. At Arsenal, the board are only interested in keeping their jobs, but Arsenal doesn't need to be successful for them to keep their jobs. 2 reasons. Our owner isn't interested in Arsenal's success, so he doesn't put pressure on them. Our fans have no standards, so we don't pressure them. And I kind of mentioned our standards. So, as long as the board aren't receiving any pressure from the fans or from Kroenke, they are safe. So what the board need to do is convince us fans that we don't need to put pressure on them because it takes 4 years to be good, i.e. trust the process. The board are able to convince us these lies by hiring professional marketers to create a certain narrative. A marketing agency hires people to advertise their company in a certain way. This is why Arsenal's Twitter admin is not even an Arsenal fan, which I did mention. The board figured that hiring somebody who hasn't got emotional attachment to Arsenal is better than hiring an actual Arsenal fan, because a non-Arsenal fan can easily tweet, "Get your Arsenal Christmas range" a day after losing to Aston Villa. So as we saw, Arsenal maintained pushing out all their merch and stuff around the Christmas period when we were going through that horrific streak of defeats. And that's because Connor Armstrong is a Southampton fan. He has no guilt in posting these things because he doesn't feel the pain that we do as fans. But let me continue. Another way that the board prevent us fans from putting pressure on them is using PR. Public relation is an actual marketing service that is provided by marketing companies. It's basically a technique used to make your company be perceived in a certain way by people. A good PR comes from different articles, reports, interviews, and even tweets, which portray a company or a person in a positive way. The board need Arsenal to have a good PR so that us fans fall for these lies and think that the club is being run well. The club obviously employs many people to do their PR, but there are also people who don't work at Arsenal who are contributing to this regime of the board. So journalists, ITKs which are in the knows, Arsenal legends, a lot of big Arsenal accounts, so these are YouTubers. In particular, I can think of DT who from AFTV, who's always yelling out, "Trust the process, trust the process." The same DT that, you know, continuously protested for Wenger to leave. And that's what these PR stuff is doing to our fan base. We're now, you know, becoming and helping the Arsenal marketing team by doing their dirty work when we start saying stuff like "trust the process." But let me continue on with this thread. Moving on. So generic journalists like your Ornsteins, like your James Benge, like your Charles Watt, there's never any passion coming from these people. It's just recycled generic deception used to make it out as if everything's okay. And we do see often these journalists do not apply pressure on the manager or the board and ask serious questions. Why isn't XYZ being done to get Arsenal back at the top? No, it's generic questions like, so is Ozil any closer to Fenerbahce? It's not. If you did not include Ozil in the squad, why did you not go out there aggressively look for an attacking midfielder before the season started? And that's the difference. And let's continue on. ITKs every transfer window convincing our fans that we're going to have a war chest which keeps the fan base on strings and stops us from putting any pressure on the board because we're being told to track Awar's Uber instead. Perfect. We were told we were going to get both Awar and Party, and what happened then? And we're always fed with these false narratives. Oh, get excited guys, Buendia's coming. Oh, get excited guys, Mano Solomon's coming. Get excited guys, Dominic Szoboszlai is going to choose us for his next destination. Nah. Let's continue. Arsenal legends. This pains me to say, people who played for us when we were a great football club, have decided to compromise their opinions for the sake of getting privileges at Arsenal. The ones who aren't anywhere near the club. True, Ian Wright speaks very highly of Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, etc. Thierry Henry has mentioned that he doesn't watch Arsenal because of Granit Xhaka being captain there. And it's funny, ain't it, that Thierry Henry is nowhere near the Arsenal setup, yet Granit Xhaka Ian Wright is on every new Arsenal Adidas advert. He's always sort of there speaking about them. And that's because of certain little privileges he gets from Arsenal. And that's why he's biased towards them. So big Arsenal accounts with their daily hypocrisy, telling us 1 minute that we had an 8 out of 10 transfer window, and now saying that being 15th is down to the players we have. By the way, this article, as you can see, was written in December when we were 15th. So I know it says 15th there, even though we're currently 11th. Or we might be even lower, depending on the other fixtures around us, in particular Leeds United. The delusion of these big account filters through to the majority of the fan base, who have now created a cult of positivity where if anybody isn't trusting the process or saying the right things, you are not an Arsenal fan. I guess I'm not an Arsenal fan because I'm not positive. Because the only thing I want is for my club to be the best. And right now I'm going to be negative until we're there. So I guess I'm not really a fan. But let's continue anyway. The likes of the journalists and the Arsenal legends know exactly what they're doing, but Arsenal fans have genuinely fallen deep into the board's trap. They've convinced themselves that they are better fans than the negative fans by being the board's free marketing team, and that is so true. I get so many Arsenal fans telling me all over social media, you're not an Arsenal fan, you want Arteta out, you're not an Arsenal fan, you're so negative. I guess I am negative. Let's continue. Football clubs make decisions based on football reasons. Arsenal marketing agency signs Brazilians for Edu's own purpose. We choose to wait until deadline day to sign Partey so that fans think we pulled one out the bag. These are not football reasons. We are not a club. How very true. So what has happened is that there is now a conflict of interest in supporting Arsenal. Fans want to tweet what is best for Arsenal, but they don't want to be seen as negative. Arsenal legends know that the club isn't run well, but they want a free pre-season tour with the club. As a result of the conflict of interest, there is less passion at Arsenal, which is why the club and a lot of the fan base collectively accept mediocrity. Mediocrity because they are not as serious about the progression of Arsenal as we once were when we were a football club. I don't know who these idiots are, but they're probably one of these positive fan bases. Now you get robotic fans that just tweet recycled generic sawdust because that is a trait of the Arsenal marketing agency. It's all about saying the right things to fit with the family. We could go 30 years without winning the league and you'd still see the same good vibes around the club, because it doesn't matter how long we go without winning a title, as long as the fans are made to believe that we're rebuilding, then they will force themselves to be positive. If this marketing agency continues to thrive, we will simply remain in the same cycle. And no, the glory days don't just magically come. How very true. Unless drastic changes happens at Arsenal, everything will be the same. If you don't push an object, it won't move. I absolutely agree with that. Kroenke will not sack the board, nor will he sack himself. Us fans need to raise our standards and put pressure on every, emphasis on every aspect that is holding the club back. This idea that fans cannot be responsible for any of our mediocrity is a flat out lie. And that's so true. And that's why we need to apply pressure. Apply pressure in the pockets. Apply pressure with our words. Apply pressure on social media. We need to start making a stance, yeah? We need to start getting pressure on a lot of these boards, the owners, the manager. We need to ultimately get our club back. Get our club back. So, fans breaking free from positive cult and saying that they really think is the first step to becoming a passionate club and not just a diplomatic brand. Hashtag free the fan base. Agreed. But that's all for now. He's got more on terms of how we can sort of do this as a fan. But I want to sort of leave it as that. And if you have stayed until now and, you know, patiently wait, you know, listen to me read through it all, then I appreciate that. And if you have, I would like to ask you a question. What is your feeling on our club? Not only on Arteta, I'm talking about our director, I'm talking about our board, I'm talking about our owner. And if you do feel like we're heading in the wrong direction, then please let me know, because I'm starting to feel like we need to get up. We need to make a stance. We need to make a rise. And you know what? I might only have, I believe, like 120 whatever subs. But if it means I have to do it, then I'll fucking do it, because I just don't see too many people out there who want to do anything to get us back at the top. And I feel like I need to start going out there. Let's create a revolution. Let's get our club back. And that's what this video should be about. Let's get our Arsenal back. And if you listened to me throughout this whole time, then appreciate it. And as per usual, please like, subscribe, and take care until next time. All the best.